Alrighty, for this one, this quick follow-up to the first one of the unboxing. This is actually once you first start it.
And I'm here to help. Little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do. Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon.
Select the little microphone, she shuts up, goes away. You can do what you gotta do. It'll boot up. First time you start, of course, it'll ask you where you're at. US. No, I don't want another keyboard layout. Ask you all your security key stuff. Usually you want to put it on the internet, let it do all its updates. Of course, it's all its privacy for Windows 10. Of course, your username. Hopefully you pick something better than that. Hopefully you don't do what I just did. Hopefully you'll watch my videos on that. Make sure when you set an admin account, you put a password. You don't want to do that. The only reason I did that, because I doubt this computer is even going to see internet right now. Like I mentioned on the last video, you have so many glitches and stuff from pre-installed software. I want to see what's installed in this. I want to see what they did. I want to see if there's anything that states about my free year in here. Anything preloaded. I want to see what it is. Then I'll load my software in there. I'll pull the product keys out. This installation software will be gone. I will do a clean Windows 10 installation on this. That's why I touched on some of that in the other video on why. Because I'm bringing it up now. This will be a clean installation. Go back to the other video of the unboxing, it'll explain that. This way, I know I don't have any issues with software, any preloaded drivers, anything else that's in here. I'll do a clean install. Number two, I'll have all my information for in case I ever need to recover from this. If it ever crashes or anything else, I'll have my keys, I'll have all my software information. That's as important as backing up. That is, you're backing up. You're backing up your data. You're backing up your keys. You're backing up your software. You're backing up all of that information. That is kind of part of a backup. So having that information is critical. So with this, you can actually see the screen on what I'm doing. You really want to turn all this stuff off. You want to go into everything. Turn it off. I know I did a video earlier on this about Windows 10, the hidden files and stuff you want to turn out, and you couldn't see it. So it was kind of the joke, the hidden, because you couldn't really see it. The way on the screen that I had, it wasn't showing up. This one I can actually see most of it. So this goes back to that. But you'll see, you'll have all of this stuff that comes up. It'll create your first account. And this goes back to creating your admin account, creating your user accounts, your power user accounts, all of those accounts refer to this point. This is your local admin. So when you get more advanced or your home, you're local. This is your local. Your domain is a network domain, everything in that area. A lot of home users probably won't understand that. Those are two different admins. Both admins can access this computer. Depending on what rights and what you tell other users can and can't do, they may or may not be able to access this computer through the network. So these are things that I want to put out there, because that goes back into the security of who you allow on your Wi-Fi, who you allow on your network. These features, this stuff here, now. So that's part of the key of showing this. I know I went through a lot of it. It was a lot of information, but when I go through and I explain it again and go through it and show it, I hope you all understand it. Then go back to that video and look at it. Because that video is the key for you to fully understand what's going on. So now, for the first user, it asks you, do you want to set this up? Do you want to set that up? On here, you have Bluetooth. You have all these things enabled. A lot of times, if you right-click on here, you can turn off a lot of stuff, like on the toolbar. The search, you can turn off the search. When you do that or hide it, the search bar goes away. So it gives you more space down here for your icons. It makes it cleaner. You don't have a whole bunch of stuff that's spread all over. What's really funny is, since it's from Walmart, there's actually a shortcut from Walmart. Age of Emperors. So the big one is we go here, you go to the gear. You want to go to privacy. In here, you can turn all this stuff off. I kind of recommend that everybody does. Because there's a big one here. Activity history. Store your activity history on this device so that it can send it to Microsoft. Not to mention, well, that's pretty bright. Now you can't see it. But not to mention that when you do this, you're storing all that data. That means it's less space for you to put your stuff. So you want to go through the gear, go through the privacy settings, turn all that stuff off. The things that are running in the background, turn all that off. Some things you might need on there. Permission to your camera, permission to your microphone, permission to your speakers. Especially if you're doing webinars and those type of things, you're going to need to have that on. But other than that, most of that stuff can be off. Because you don't need it to learn your typing. You don't want it to recognize your speech. Maybe if you're going to do, like, I think it's Dragon Natural Speak type things where speak and type. That's it. The speak and type, where you talk and it puts your wording on there, then you need to have some of those features enabled. That stuff's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. It's becoming more standard and standard. So maybe you're not using it today, but maybe in 2 months or a year you will be. So that's something I want to bring up, that feature will have to be on. You might turn it off now. You might have to go back in and turn it on. You just click on it, moves the bar over, turns it on. It's not anything major. So that's the basics of startup a new computer and what it looks like. Goes back to what preloaded software's in there. I'm going to have to take it over, go look at it, load my software in there, pull product key out, and odds are it will be clean swept. It'll all be taken out. want to check is system info, Windows 10 S mode. Four gigs of RAM. So it actually looks more than capable for what I need. But that's all up to the individual, what you need. But this is basically a simple installation. But now that you get to this point, I want to remind everybody. Don't do what I did. Make sure you have an admin password. Make sure you have a user account. Make sure when you log in, you use the user account and not the admin account. These are critical things, especially in today's day. With email problems and email nightmare, horrible stuff going on that you can get by just simply opening your email being in an admin account. Honestly, if you're using this computer on a day-to-day basis to pay your bills, to play games, to do things that you usually do every day, you don't need to be an admin. Only time you need to have admin access is if you're installing or removing or changing rights to something. But the key part is when you're installing software and it asks you for that administrative credential for you to log in and give that information, you know, should it be doing that or should it not be doing that? If it's sitting here with that screen right there and it pops up, please enter your username and password, you know you have a problem. If you put a game in there and you're installing it, you click the install and it comes up with that and says, okay, you need to put this in before you can install, put in that information and it goes through and installs your game, you know that's correct. So I want to point that out. Now that there's a live computer here in front of me that's clean, that nobody's installed anything on. But these are some of the factors I want to point out because this is where a lot of people will have issues. Reading the reviews, oh, I've used it for a day or two and it stopped working or this or that. So, I want to see, is it really a bad product or is it just a bad installation? For what I'm going to use it for, I'm not even ever probably going to use the webcam. A lot of people complain about the webcam, the quality, the sound, and all that stuff. It's a 1 meg camera, it said when you bought it. So it's not the highest quality. I have a nice USB one I can plug in if I need to. But that camera is not a factor for me. I'm buying it for the online use pretty much only. Supposedly this had Wi-Fi 6. I have people say it doesn't on the reviews. Once I'm done with this video, I'm going to check it out and see what it really does have. I'm curious myself. Because the way this thing was specified, I was really surprised to find it for the price that I found it for. So, even if it isn't Wi-Fi 6, if it's Wi-Fi G, I'm happy with it because everybody already knows from all my other videos, I don't have that kind of speed to warrant Wi-Fi 6. I only have 100 meg internet speed. And that's considered fast in this area. You can get faster from the company that I'm with, but for this area, 100 meg is considered really fast. There's a lot of providers out here that are way less than that. So, Wi-Fi 6 isn't a factor for me. Might be in a few years, but right now, no. Odds are, will I still have this in a few years? I don't know. I use the computer a lot. Computers only last me maybe 2 or 3 years. So probably by the time Windows 10 is fully obsolete, I'll be buying a new one anyways. So that's one of the factors on why I don't pay $800 for a laptop. Because I use it a lot. It's like a work type thing for me. I'm on it all the time. All my bills, emails, all that type of stuff that I got to deal with. YouTube, all this stuff is done through the laptop. So that's one of the considerations I had. So technology's moving fast too. DDR3, DDR4, DDR5, whatever's coming out next. Might not be DDR. It might be some totally new generation that is way faster and way better. So these are factors I wanted to bring up. But now that you've seen how the installation starts up for the first time, you see all the little boxes that it asks you off and on, what do you want running? Make sure you check those. Make sure you see what they are. Because number one, that helps your performance of your system. If you have a bunch of stuff running in the background that you're not using, it slows down your system. I don't think I covered a lot of that in the past. I know I mentioned it. I'm sure I'll do another video on that. I have to get a capture card or get a better setup for you to see the screen, because there's a lot of places you can go into and turn off certain things that will maximize the performance of your computer. There's a lot of things that run automatically that you really don't need. Notifications and all kinds of other things that pop up on this thing that I'm sure if you have a computer, you know what I'm talking about. They pop up all the time. But you need to do this, you need to check that. Most of that's all silly stuff. You can actually turn that off. So to remember, not that it's just silly and it's bothering you, but it's actually slowing down your system because it's running. So I'm not going to tell you, just turn that off because it's bugging you. There's a reason why it's running. But there's some things that are running that I consider nuisances that, I see I need to do a Windows update. I do it every 2 weeks. But it'll tell me on a Monday or a Tuesday when the update comes out, and I do it on Thursday. Okay. I turn that feature off. Because it doesn't do me good to tell me on Tuesday when I know I'm going to do it on Thursday. So these are factors. If it's in your standard routine that you do these things and you follow the best procedures and you're running your virus scan, you're updating and you're running your Windows updates, you're keeping all the stuff updated so you're safe and secure, you don't need to be told these notifications. It might be nice to have them, but if your system's running a little slow, older system, and with more and more updates, they keep adding more and more things, like search bar, what else do they have? The weather now they have on there. And you click on the thing and it has all your sports that you can pick, all your news feeds. All those are using your resources of your system in the background. I don't need that because when I go online, on my homepage, it has all the features I want. I don't need it there. I know where to go get it. Number one, it's running online, pulling that information and I'm looking at it. It's not running on my system all the time, updating and doing all that stuff. So I like that better than that feature. So if you already have those features in places you like, you might want to turn things off. So I think I'll wrap this one up because I've gone on way too long. So between those two, I think it's a good unboxing. It's a good showing of the first startup, what happens, how it loads, when it asks you your admin name, for your local. Make sure you put your password in, all those type of things, and you're good to go. All right. This is me again from Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. Make sure you hit the subscribe. I need those people to hit the subscribe. Nobody is. Hit the bell so you get the updates. Tell people you know about me. Post the link to my video on your YouTube, your Facebooks, whatever. If there's a video you like, share it. Let people know. Let them know I'm out there. This information might be critically important to someone you know or to you that you might want to share it. Lots of videos, lots of information. Please share it. Let people know. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you.